Okay, welcome everybody to our first episode of GrowthRx TV. Today we've got Nicholas Shuster, who is a very successful business owner in his own right, physiotherapist from Scarborough with quite a large team as it is, and also the founder of the Ultimate Physio, which is an online education and learning platform that helps business owners and particularly has been front of mind in this particular climate. And I think the reason why I wanted Nick to come on is he's doing great things in the space of leadership and culture and always has. But obviously as things evolve and as uncertainty sets in, this is more front of mind for a lot of people. So Nick, thank you for coming on.
Jade, I'm absolutely pumped. I'm so happy to be here, and our conversation up until now has been great. It's only going to get even better. So yeah, and for those watching, thank you very much for giving your time.
No worries. Look, one of the things I wanted to talk to you about is part of your specialty, which is culture and leadership. And obviously everything's changing at the moment. We've got a new normal out there. People don't know how to move forward. They're desperately seeking direction and leadership. What are you seeing when it comes to culture in teams and in businesses at the moment?
So I'd say that my area of specialty is physiotherapy clinics, especially here in Australia. And we've probably had it easy for too long, to be honest. There's enough patients to go around for all of us. One of the challenges that we've faced in our industry is not enough physios in private practice to go around. And, to a degree, what that's meant is, us owners have probably let our team get away with murder. Like my wife works in corporate law. They treat them like dirt, work them into the ground. When they leave, there's 10 people waiting to take their job. So in allied health, we don't have that, I won't call it a luxury, but opportunity. And I've seen a real polarization of workplaces since COVID-19 came on, Jade. So, most workplaces that I tended to be aware of in the physiotherapy private practice environment, you had high-performing team members, you had up-and-comers, you had graduates, learning and getting really involved, and you had a small percentage of people that were prima donnas and falling stars. So, my four categories are up-and-comer, high-performer, prima donna, falling star. So you had a mix of those. Now, as we would expect when there's crisis, some people step up and some people separate. There's this polarity that I've seen where the high performers, my God, they have just gone over and above. And there have been some people, with the clinics that I coach where they've stepped up without us even really believing that they could or they would. But all of us are under a certain degree of stress right now, Jade. And I'd say that, the prima donnas and the falling stars have literally just dropped off the back of the cart straight away. But people with individual stress have gone either way. Like I've seen clinics where some of their high performers have absolutely gone to water. And clinics where the high performers have stepped up. So I would say there's been this polarization within a team. The opportunity that gives us as owners is that our teams will look different afterwards, and there has never been a better time to actually reshape your team than right now. Some of the conversations I've had, Jade, I wouldn't have got away with it before this.
You're so right, and I think you're remembered for the way that you handled this situation. Whether you're part of a team or a business owner, everybody's watching. There's a heightened sense of sensitivity here, which is and nobody wants to make the wrong decision, but you actually have to move forward. And it's not about being 100% certain. It's just actually being bold enough and brave enough to actually do something about it. So, how are you communicating differently with your team at the moment in an effort to engage them? And particularly, you're probably seeing businesses that are still open at the moment, and some that have stood down and closed due to patient numbers or economic disruption. How are we needing to communicate our needs as business owners and as team members differently?
So one of my greatest mentors said to me years ago, Jade, communication is the response you get. So as a leader, a degree of how we believe we're communicating is reflected in the response that we're getting from our people. And I'd say I'll reflect on my own experience in my own clinic. We've now been in this challenging situation for probably 6-7 weeks. Some of the responses I'm getting from my team is, I'm glad you're communicating with us so often. So I'm a real advocate of big conversations and hard conversations as frequently as possible. Like, we're all big boys and girls, you know, we're all over 18 in our workplace. And I think for too long, we've probably protected our team members from the absolute truth. I think as a leader, you often have to be vulnerable. And even today, I had conversations with 3 remedial massage therapists, and I used the phrase, I don't know, a fair bit. And they were just appreciative that I was planning for the future and thinking about them and factoring them into the plans, but I didn't know everything that was happening. So vulnerability is a big part of how I've been leading. And I'd say the other big thing for me is most flaws and fall downs in communication I've had in the past haven't been based, Jade, on what I've said. They've been based on how I've said it. Yeah. And I really firmly believe that, you know, I know when I'm going to have an important conversation with someone. I make sure it's never on email or Facebook message. It's phone at the worst case, and it's face-to-face at the best case.
Yeah.
I slow down my speech. I make myself small body language wise. I let them do 70% of the talking, and I ask good questions. You know, a lot of you who've done communication study know that words are only, 7% of communication, and you've got tone and body language, which are a huge amount. So I think what I've tried to do as a leader, to sum it up, Jade, is to really just bring myself down to the person's level and to minimize any authority I have in this situation, I suppose. And I've found that that's got me some pretty good results.
And I think that's that true sense of compassionate leadership that we're seeing now, is actually sharing in the pain of what your team are going through. Nobody is exempt from this. Nobody. And I think this is, part of me having this conversation with you is I just wanted to show that whilst business owners are suffering, there's staff that are now on JobKeeper, and their incomes have dropped tremendously as well. So I think in regards to contributions here, and the fact that our common ground is that we want our end game to be the same. We don't necessarily have to thrive and capitalize off crisis, but we want to come out of this at the end. And none of us know what after looks like. And we throw these things around like, see you on the other side. How do we find that common ground? And, if you were talking to a staff member out there that doesn't own a business and doesn't have the same concerns right now, and we know what their concerns are, would you be saying to them? Are there no boundaries? You don't want to micromanage them, or what would you be saying to them? What do you want from them without having to actually tell every single individual what they should be doing right now?
So, again, sort of staying on the theme of my own team members and having seen people step up, I've subtly challenged people, and I'd say, let's talk about a role of a clinician in allied health. Like a challenging issue that many of us clinic owners, physio, osteopathy, chiropractic, podiatry, all of us have faced in the past is people doing their core role and not going over and above. So, I'll see patients, but I won't do treatment plans. I won't make phone calls. I won't produce content. I won't do the other things that the boss wants me to do. I've actually seen the biggest change in my clinic and the clinics that I work with over the last month. People are going over and above. And the reason they're doing that, Jade, is because the stakes are high. Yeah. A lot of people know that if they don't do the phone calls and keep their clinic diaries full, there won't be enough work for them. There's not enough profit in the business right now. Their days will get cut. Their wage will get cut.
Yeah.
So I would say, in the past, I've spoken to my team members about what stops them and holds them back from doing these extras. And they'll say things like, some of the common things are, I'm too busy. I don't have time. I've got too many clients. I can't afford to do that. I don't really see the need or the benefit. Right now, team members in allied health businesses are seeing the benefit of those extras, those 1%, because it's keeping them in work. And probably the thing that gets me the most excited, Jade, is on the other side of this, as you say, does everyone's role look different? Like, is an allied health professional / marketer in future?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Look, I think, social media is how we're connecting at the moment. We all want that safety and security in life, but we also want to feel connected, and our relationships have been taken away from us.
Yes.
So everyone's sitting on their phones. And if you're not on Facebook at the moment, you're not front of mind. So, I think that's where we do need to step across into, is making ourselves front of mind. And how does that look? Is it marketing? Is it online courses? Is it free content and education? Or is it simply just that human contact of being fun and engaged, and just having your staff even do a TikTok dance that helps them show that vulnerability that you were talking about before? I think it's just showing that you're human, and that, I guess everyone's in this together, which sounds so cliche, but we actually are. So
I would say, Jade, the posts, like, we're very big in our social media. We've created, a significant goodwill in our clinic community through a Facebook VIP closed group. And the posts that have gained significantly more traction is the vulnerable posts, the thank you posts. A tip for you guys, like, we did a campaign where anyone who'd lost their job, we give them a free session. That went absolutely berserk.
Yeah.
Things that you do to value or reinvest in your community, like the support of other local businesses and the sharing of that. While everyone's doing stretch videos, we're communicating with our community. We still do the stretch videos. They've still got some value, but that genuine, heartfelt personal connection with your community, like, that cannot go wrong. On the other side of this, some businesses are just going to go like that because of it, Jade.
Yeah. And I think that's right. And I think, in summary, over communication is key right now. You said vulnerability, and I think everybody's on the same playing field at the moment, because everybody is affected by this. And then appreciating what that end game looks like and making sure that you get there. And I think, while speed of any race is individual, momentum is universal. And I think we all just need to keep pushing forward, one foot in front of the other, but make sure that we're moving right now. Now is not a time to sit on our hands. And I think that if you do, you're going to get left behind. But I think teams, and that's why I'm kind of talking to you today, teams are more important than ever, because a support network is really important. And as you said, first, have those conversations. Secondly, connect with patients and build those relationships that you've got. And then thirdly, make sure that you're just consistent, because stability is the key right now, and consistency is the greatest asset that we have. So brilliant. Some great take homes today, and hopefully that helps a few people out there. Lovely to chat to you and connect with you. And I'm really, really grateful to be able to showcase your contributions to allied health. Thank you.
Thank you, Jade. I love talking to you about this stuff. We could probably talk for days.
Totally. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Cheers, guys.